Hello, Kurt Redden back here with Primal Sales. Primal Sales is all about helping sales leaders and their teams win faster and more often. So today we want to focus on three things, productivity hacks that can help us have much more productive weeks and definitely get more in the terms of sales results. Again, we're going to share best practices together, and I think some of these tips are things you can immediately implement to help you get it going now. Have any of you ever had that situation where you get to the end of a week and it's like, what in the world did I accomplish this week? What did I get done? I had way too many weeks like that, and I finally said enough is enough. So I went out looking for ways that I could actually improve in how I manage my team and manage my top target accounts. The challenge is we have so much technology now that helps us be even more effective. The reality, though, is it can also be a huge distraction. And why is that? When you look at the number of messages that we have coming in today, we literally can address and have more inputs and more stimulus coming at us before 9 a.m. than we had all day long 10, 15 years ago. And what I'm really coaching all of you on and the teams that I work with is, how do we get real about focus? When we look at high value focused drive and attention to the things that matter most, this area of focus truly is going to be the superpower tomorrow. So let's talk through the three things that you can do to help you in that regard. The first is making the decision. The decision is really about a couple of different things. It's the decision on what is absolutely most important for you. So as a sales leader, crushing my plan, making President's Club, how am I going to help my team be successful in all they do? What are my goals there? I would argue it also is in your personal life. As a spouse, as a father, and my other roles are things that are very important. What are the things that truly excellence looks like? So when I look at getting the decision first, those areas that are most important, part two of that is then what does absolute extraordinary performance look like there? So my sales leader role, I want to be in President's Club. I want to make certain that my team is capable and coached to get to President's Club. So what are the things I need to do there? Once I've made the decision, I then need to focus on how do I keep focus and attention in the areas that matter most. So how do we get better about our scheduling, our calendaring? How do we actually schedule the most important things first and then fill in the rest? Finally, when all that is said and done, we've all got busy lives and it's crazy busy. How do we maintain the energy to keep this going over the long term? Because in any of these, it is not a sprint, it's a marathon. If you've been through any type of time management and productivity training before, you probably heard this whole axis of importance on one side and urgency on the other. And it is very easy for us, especially as sales leaders and salespeople, to get caught up in this. I'm responding to urgent customer requests. I'm constantly reacting to email, phone calls, text messages that come in. And all of them can be very urgent, but they may not be important. The key to my scheduling, where I saw a quantum leap forward and a 10x in performance, was focus on the absolutely extremely important things connected to my goals. But I managed to minimize the things that I was in reactive or emergency mode on. So what do those look like in sales? I would argue prospecting. I would argue top of funnel activity. I would argue how are we initiating, having contacts with our top target accounts and helping accelerate the sales cycle in those accounts with our teams. I would also look at how are we actually working with our teams on not reinventing the wheel and having good sales scripts, having good dialogue so that if we know something works, we're not reinventing every time and we actually can go in and rinse, wash, repeat, and share with especially younger team members. I would argue that the focus on the areas that we can control, the focus on the areas that we can influence, and accepting those that are out of our control is another big one. What we've seen again and again from the data and the research is that if we can spend more time in this extremely important but not urgent quadrant, it allows us to do a much better job with proactive planning, how we help coach and develop our teams, which is another Q2 activity of what we're trying to do, and how we truly help take our performance in our team to a completely different level. So what does this look like on a weekly basis? Let me sort of take you home with what the process can look like. Once a week, typically for me, it's going to be on Sunday evenings, I like to sit down and I create a master task list. That's where I capture everything that comes in I've got to get done. Once I do that, so this is the epitome of a glorified to-do list. The next step on that is going back to what was most important for me as a sales leader. What are the one or two most important things this week that I must and will accomplish, the lead measures that are going to get me to where I want to be? That contact with a top target account, that coaching work with a new and upcoming A player, the work with your VP of sales on how are we actually going to get proactive planning on a time and territory management, any of those type things. The last piece of this is then filling in the rest, taking all those items off the master task list and filling in the calendar. But the non-negotiable pieces of that are the things that I put in first on my very extremely important but not urgent, and those are going to get done above all else. Last couple of things on this is really truly how we do it. So on Sunday evenings for me, I've connected back. I'm taking a minimum of 30 minutes on that Sunday. I've scheduled everything out. And then each day, I typically am going to take at least 10 minutes at the recap to go back, capture what did get done, and move it in and stay focused and prioritize on those goals. So next steps, I'm really going to encourage all of you. If you can implement this, this is something that will make a quantum leap forward in your scheduling. If you could, please put in the chat, what are some accelerators in your world? Whether it be technology, apps, what are some of the things that you're using that truly help you take the next level? And I look forward to learning from you as we sort of move forward on this path together. Hope everyone has a great day, great sales, great work, and we'll talk soon.